Ever feel like you're banging your head against a brick wall trying to figure out YouTube? You make this awesome video, you're stoked about it, hit publish, and then nothing. It's like the algorithm's messing with us, you know? You're definitely not alone, though. One of our listeners sent in this podcast, this creator, talking about how they're trying to make it big on YouTube. They shared like their whole strategy, and we're going deep on it today, going to see if it's actually genius or more of the same old advice.
I'm always down to peek behind the curtains, see what other creators are trying. There's just so much out there. Figuring out what actually works is the real challenge.
Right. And this creator goes all in on how frustrating it is trying to make something go viral. They're basically saying it's impossible to predict. Which, yeah, duh, but they seem kind of shook by it.
That's so common, though. You get stuck thinking if you just find the magic keywords or follow whatever's trending, you're golden.
Mm.
But the algorithm, even with all its craziness, it's still trying to, copy how people act, you know?
Yeah.
And people are unpredictable.
So then how do you even start planning when it feels like the rules are always changing?
You got to stop trying to trick the system and focus on building something that lasts. Instead of chasing those viral moments, which disappear as quickly as they come, think about consistently giving something valuable to your specific audience.
So instead of chasing the wind, we build a sturdy ship.
Nailed it. This creator actually touches on this, talking about quality over quantity. They even say, I'm quoting here, it's not about turning out video after video. It's about creating content that resonates with your audience. But I think we can break that down even more.
Totally. It's easy to say quality over quantity, but what does that actually mean for YouTubers? How do you make something high quality that translates to views and subscribers?
Now, that is the million-dollar question. And honestly, this is where a lot of creators miss the mark. Quality isn't just about how fancy your editing is or how good your lighting is. You could have the most polished video in the world, but if it doesn't connect with the right people, it's meaningless.
So it's about figuring out what your audience thinks is good, even if it goes against all those YouTube guru rules.
Exactly. Some people want a simple from-the-heart vlog. Others are all about those crazy edits and effects. It all boils down to knowing who you're talking to and what makes them tick. Like, someone making tech reviews is going to care about clear explanations over fancy transitions, right?
Yeah.
But a travel vlogger might focus on capturing those stunning shots and making people feel something.
Makes sense. I'd rather watch a shaky 5-minute video that makes me feel like I'm actually on an adventure than some super polished 10-minute snooze fest.
100%. It's
Yeah.
about being real,
Yeah.
making a connection, which brings us to something else this creator talks about: engagement.
Engagement feels like every YouTuber's holy grail these days. And this creator, they're all about it. Responding to every comment, asking for feedback, building a community, all that good stuff. But I always wonder, how do you go beyond just like checking boxes for the algorithm and actually get people genuinely hooked?
That's the big question, isn't it? It's easy to get caught up in the numbers game: how many likes, how many comments, how many shares. But real engagement, it's about something more.
Deeper, right?
Exactly. And this creator actually mentioned something really smart, even if they didn't spell it out completely. They were talking about putting specific questions in their videos to get people talking. It's subtle, but it changes the whole vibe from just watching passively to actually being part of the conversation.
Instead of just consuming, you're invited in.
Exactly. And that's how you build those diehard fans.
Makes
Think about your favorite YouTubers, the ones you actually get excited to see a new video from.
Yeah.
They probably make you feel like you're in on some inside joke, part of a club that gets it. That's the power of real engagement.
Okay, but how do you actually do that? Because I know I've been there. You end up just giving those generic responses. Thank you, a heart emoji. Doesn't always feel genuine.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope, especially with a ton of comments to go through. But what if instead of just acknowledging a comment, you used it to kickstart a real back and forth? Let's say someone mentions something specific from your video. Instead of just saying, glad you liked it, ask them something back. What other stuff related to this are you curious about? Or have you run into this yourself?
Oh, I like that. It's like you're actually opening a door instead of just ending the conversation.
Exactly. And this is where knowing your audience really matters. What are they into? What are their pain points? What do they want to achieve? When you get who you're talking to, you can ask the right questions and spark conversations that click.
This is great stuff. It makes you realize engagement, it's not just about tricking some algorithm. It's about building relationships that actually matter in the long run as a creator.
Absolutely. It's a two-way street. You learn from them just as much as they learn from you.
Which I think brings us to this creator's big reveal, like their top tip for YouTube success. Ready for it?
Let me guess. Provide value.
You totally called it. But I was curious how they'd explain it because value, it's such a broad term. They mention educating, inspiring, or entertaining, which, yeah, those are all great, but I feel like there's got to be more to it than that. With everyone on YouTube trying to grab attention, what makes something stand out as truly valuable?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And here's where I think we can add to what this creator's saying. Because while educating, inspiring, entertaining, yeah, those are all good. They don't automatically mean your content's going to break through the noise. Think about it. YouTube's full of educational videos, inspiring stories, funny clips. What makes yours different? What unique angle do you have? Some special knowledge or experience that nobody else does.
So it's not just about offering any value, it's about being the only one offering that value.
Exactly. It's about tapping into your own strengths, what you're passionate about, and not being afraid to let that shine through. Because when you do that, you're not just another face in the crowd. You're creating something totally new and original.
Creating your own category.
It's really about finding your own lane.
Yeah,
And those are the people, right?
Yeah.
They're the ones that are most likely to stick around,
totally.
subscribe, become, customers, even if you've got products or services, whatever.
For sure.
They see you as like, you're the one, you're the expert, you get it, they trust you.
Makes you think about all the creators who are like trying to do it all
Yeah.
instead of just like owning that one thing.
Absolutely. It's so common, it's so easy to fall into that comparison trap.
Oh, yeah.
You're scrolling through,
They're like,
looking at everybody else, and you think, I got to do that.
right.
But the people who really kill it, they know themselves.
Yeah.
They know what they're good at. They know what they love. They don't shy away from it.
And that all comes back to knowing your audience, too.
100%.
Because if you don't even know who you're talking to,
Right.
how can you give them something they actually want?
You can't. And that's the thing. People skip that step.
Yeah.
They think, oh, I know my audience.
Right.
But really, your audience is changing all the time.
They are. What they're into, what they want.
You've got to change with them. Keep up.
So it's like always be researching.
Always stay curious. Pay attention to what people are saying in the comments.
Right.
The messages you're getting.
Yeah.
Maybe even do some polls, Q&As.
Oh, I like that.
Really dig in and figure out what they're looking for.
This has been so helpful. We've really gotten into like the nitty-gritty today.
For sure.
Not just the surface stuff, but like what actually moves the needle.
Absolutely. And the best part is, this isn't just for YouTube.
Right.
Business, writing, even just connecting with people better.
Yeah.
Knowing your value, what makes you,
Totally.
that's what it all comes down to.
I love that. So to everyone listening, if you're feeling lost in the YouTube world,
It's a big world out there.
it is. But remember, you are your own secret weapon.
That's right.
Focus on what you're good at. Don't be afraid to stand out.
Be yourself.
The right people will find you.
And when they do, get to know them, really understand them,
Yeah.
give them something amazing, something only you can give.
Build that community.
Exactly.
This was awesome. So glad we got to do this deep dive together.
Me too. Always a pleasure.
Until next time, everybody, keep creating, keep the momentum going, and never stop exploring what makes you unique.